So Brian, why don't you take a minute and tell USD a little bit about yourself and your background and what brought you here?
Yeah, my name is Brian Limoges. I'm currently the Assistant Vice President of Facilities Management here at USD. I came to USD in 2016. Before that, I was a construction project manager in Sioux Falls for a general contractor for about 12 years. I actually graduated from the other university. And so when this position opened up, I heard about it through a friend and applied and ended up getting the position. So
Great.
I've been here ever since, and I love it. Every day is a challenge, and there's never a shortage of stuff to do. So
That is a true statement.
yes.
2016, you've seen a lot of change on
Yes.
campus since that time.
Yes.
Can you tell us, I guess, what do you think has been the most dramatic change you've seen in that time? In maybe the organization at USD as a whole, broadly, and maybe even a little bit more narrowly in facilities management and some of the changes that you've brought about in the process for some of these larger projects?
Yeah, I've seen tremendous change. It's hard to believe I've been here for almost 10 years already. It's gone by really quick.
Yeah.
I think from the campus as a whole, the biggest change that I have seen is cultural change. We've obviously gone through a new president. I was here for the previous president. I just feel like people, like the attitudes changed, the cultures changed in a way that everybody gets along better. When I first came to USD, there seemed to be a lot of, departments were more divided.
Yeah.
Facilities management had this, we said no to everything, it felt like. And so I feel like you in particular, being the leader, has really changed that. And it's more collaborative now. People seem to get along. Yeah, we don't always agree, but we can have a conversation. We come together and try to figure out ways to get through issues that arise.
The one thing that's been really evident to me is how projects are approached. It seemed like we were approaching projects in very piecemeal and not very planningful, and it felt like we would go over here one day and over here one day, and it didn't feel like we had a very long range plan, and we weren't making the sorts of noticeable progress. And now we're attacking buildings at a time and floors at a time, and it just feels like we're making so much progress.
I agree.
And I credit that to you and your team. And tell us how that long-range plan has come about. And now we do have a 10-year plan, and what that's done maybe for the stakeholders and how they feel now, knowing that they're on the list, and what that does for campus as well.
I appreciate that you give me all that credit, but it's not just me. I think it's campus leadership as a whole. We actually, as you know, did some retreats together to talk about everybody's wants and needs, to come up with kind of our own master plan for campus. Several years ago, as you're aware, the Joe Bellotti study, which was really a space planning document, helped us start this process. But after those meetings with those different groups across campus, we were able to put our heads together and collectively agree, like, this is a good plan to move forward. So we are trying to not only do what each department wants to do, but they understand as a whole what's best for the whole campus. We are looking at these projects from a holistic standpoint, and instead of trying to piecemeal them together. I think the Board of Regents has worked with us to help us understand that. I love the saying that you came up with is, you can change the oil in your car or you can change the engine. What's cheaper? Well, it's a lot cheaper to change the oil than it is to change the engine. So trying to look at these projects as a whole dormitory, a whole building, instead of, well, we're going to do a little bit here, a little bit there. And you never really fully renovate the building. You do some cosmetic stuff, but you don't get the mechanical, electrical systems, as you know. So I think that whole group of everybody just coming together has really put that plan together, and I feel like we all just bought into it. So
it's great.
Yeah.
One project in particular this fall that I thought was maybe a little bit comical, but at the same token, I really appreciate the importance of it, was the restrooms in Dalzell.
Yes.
Tell me about that project and the ribbon cutting.
Yes.
I want to kind of lighten things up here a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So Dalzell is not one of our oldest buildings, but it's an older building, and it hasn't had a lot of renovations throughout my time here, at least in the last 10 years. And I'd been in the bathrooms a long time ago, probably 2016, 2017, but I happened to go through them. Oh, it had to have been about a year, maybe 2 years ago. And I was like, wow, these are really bad. I started to talk to the department, and they were in agreement. There was a lot of complaints. I never realized how much restrooms would make a huge difference in a building, in a department, not only for the students, but the staff and the faculty that are in that building every day. And as you know, you shared with me an email from the faculty about how happy they were to finally get those restrooms renovated. Some of them had been here 25 years and never seen restrooms being renovated. So I thought that was really nice to understand that what you do is appreciated.
Yeah.
And nice to understand that, hey, maybe we got it right. Maybe we did, choose the right project at the right time.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to finish the first floor this next summer. So
yeah, makes you appreciate it's a quality of life aspect to a person's work life.
Yep.
And how important that can be.
Yep.
So
yep.
Congratulations on that project.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that is great. Tell me a little bit more about your team. What are you most proud of related to your team?
I'm really proud of the fact that I have 4 directors right now that oversee each area of facilities management. They're fairly new. They've all been new since I've become the AVP of facilities. They're all just willing to come together, work together. We do a lot better job of communicating between the areas within facilities. We were very siloed too. But when there is a problem across campus, everybody steps in and helps each other out, which I appreciate. There's no more finger pointing, oh, that's just a maintenance thing or a custodial thing. I've gotten people to go grab a shovel when we need to help grounds and move snow. So yeah, that's what I'm very proud of.
Good for you. So one of the things about the University of South Dakota that's very unique is the many varied programs that we have, which then results in many varied facilities needs, which has to be challenging.
It is.
And the ever-changing and evolving instructional needs that are out there. And we build buildings that last 100 years, 150 years. When you're going through the planning process, how do you think about that as you're working with the end user and who's going to be using the building and thinking ahead to the next 100 years? How do you design classrooms? How anymore? Because we know how quickly that instructional model has been changing, and that has to be challenging.
It is, but I think it's a collaborative effort. Again, I try to engage not only the end user, our IT departments, because a lot of the stuff, as you know, in our classrooms are very IT driven. And so trying to pull from those different entities, what do they feel like is going to last for a period of time? Trying to try new things, but not too new of things, not being the guinea pig, but also trying to forecast what the renovation really needs. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we get it wrong, but I think because we all come together, we also rely on the design team, of course, because they understand cutting edge and what they're doing in other universities and other buildings and things like that that have similar space. So I think it's just a collaborative group that we're all coming together and trying to either renovate or build classroom space, office space that fits today's needs.
So trying to find the cutting edge, but not the bleeding edge.
Yeah, yep.
Is there any project coming up that you're most excited about?
One that you're aware of that's been on our list to do it for a long time is East Hall.
Yeah.
East Hall is a beautiful building. A lot of people don't realize that it technically is our oldest building on campus.
Yeah.
People think Old Main is, but there, as you know, there was a fire,
Right.
and Old Main burned to the ground. So East Hall was built in the interim. I just think it really needs a renovation. I think if we can renovate it and bring it back to life, it'll live for another 100 years.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful building. So that's probably number one. There's a lot of projects that I'm excited, a lot of buildings that I'm excited to get into. There's some new buildings potentially that are coming up that I'm really excited about because I know it'll help the university as a whole.
Yeah.
And so those are always fun to be a part of because you know that it'll be here a lot longer than I will ever be at USD. And that's why I kind of went into the construction industry, is because it's something where I know that I had a hand in building a building that will last a lot longer than I will. So it's kind of a neat thing. So
yeah. Where can the rest of campus learn more about you, more about your team?
Well, they can always reach out to me. I would recommend that, anytime there's a facility issue, the FM work order desk, we always state is our first line of defense, if you will. That's the best place to get something resolved. Stop by the service center, say hi. It's the service center is all facilities management people. So there's not a lot of students that come through because there's no classes there. But every once in a while, we'll get a student to come through that's kind of lost looking for a building, and it's always fun to kind of point out who we are and show them the way to the space that they're supposed to be going to. So
great. Well, thank you. I
Yeah,
learned a lot
thank you.
today. Go Yotes.
Yep, go Yotes.